I didn't think much of it at first. When she said he was just a friend, I nodded, because that's what trust looks like in the beginning. It looks like giving someone the benefit of the doubt. It looks like choosing peace over suspicion. It looks like love. And I loved her. I loved her in the quiet ways, in the way I memorized how she took her coffee, in the way I'd wait for her "text me when you get home" message every night, in the way I believed every word she said without needing proof. So when she smiled at her phone and quickly turned it over on the table, I told myself I was imagining things. When she started mentioning his name more often, I told myself it was normal. "He's just a friend from work," she said casually. And I said, okay, because I didn't want to be that guy, the insecure one, the jealous one, the controlling one. I wanted to be the calm, understanding boyfriend, the mature one. So I swallowed every small doubt that tried to rise in my chest. At first, it was harmless. Late replies, shorter calls, canceled plans because she was too tired. But she was never too tired to text him. I didn't know that yet, not officially, but deep down, something in me felt displaced, like I was slowly being replaced in my own relationship. There's a strange pain in feeling someone drift away while they're still physically there. She would sit next to me on the couch, but her mind felt miles away. I'd talk about my day, and she'd nod without really listening. Her laugh changed too. It became something she gave to her phone more than to me. One night I asked her softly, "Are we okay?" She smiled immediately, too quickly. "Of course we are. Why would you even ask that?" And I hated myself for asking. I apologized. Imagine apologizing for noticing the distance. That's what love can do. It can make you question your instincts just to keep the illusion alive. Weeks passed, and he was still just a friend. But suddenly he knew things about her I didn't. He knew about her work stress before I did. He knew about her bad days. He knew when she was upset. I found that out when she said, "Yeah, I already told him about it." Him, not me. Something about that hurt more than it should have. But I stayed quiet, because I trusted her. Or maybe I was afraid of what I'd find if I didn't. Then came the small lies. "I'm going to bed early." But she was online until 2 a.m. "I'm out with the girls." But the background noise didn't sound like girls. Still, every time I brought something up, she had an explanation. And every explanation made me feel foolish for even asking. You really need to stop overthinking. I started believing that maybe I was the problem. Maybe I was insecure. Maybe I was imagining the tension. Love can blind you in the most polite way. It doesn't hit you with truth. It slowly adjusts your reality until you don't recognize it anymore. Then came the night that changed everything. She was in the shower. Her phone was on the bed. I wasn't looking for anything. I swear I wasn't. But the screen lit up. His name, and a heart emoji. Just one line in the preview. "I miss last night already." Time didn't slow down. It stopped. My chest tightened so fast it felt like someone had wrapped a wire around it. I stared at the screen. Maybe I misread it. Maybe it wasn't what it looked like. Maybe last night meant something innocent. I picked up the phone with shaking hands. I didn't want to invade her privacy, but something inside me needed the truth more than it needed dignity. And when I opened the messages, I didn't find confusion. I found confirmation. Pictures, inside jokes, late-night confessions, plans
Plans for weekends, she told me she was busy. Plans for nights, she said she was too tired. And the worst part? They talked about me. He once asked, "Does he suspect anything?" She replied, "No, he trusts me too much." I read that sentence at least 10 times. Trusts me too much. Trust wasn't the problem. Trust was the weapon.
Every message felt like another crack in something I thought was solid. My hands went numb. I wasn't angry yet. I was empty. It's strange how betrayal doesn't always start with rage. Sometimes it starts with silence. When she walked out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, humming softly, she saw my face, and she knew. There's a specific look people have when they realize the truth is no longer hidden. It's not guilt. It's panic. "What's wrong?" she asked. I didn't yell. I didn't throw the phone. I just held it out. Her expression changed instantly. "It's not what you think." That sentence, the most overused sentence in the history of lies. I looked at her and asked very calmly, "Then what is it?" She tried to explain, said it started as emotional support, said she felt distant from me, said she didn't mean for it to go that far. Didn't mean for it to go that far. Like cheating is some accidental step you trip into. Like feelings just happen. I asked her one question. "Were you ever going to tell me?" Silence. That silence was louder than any confession. Because if I hadn't seen the message, she would still be texting him, still smiling at her phone, still kissing me goodnight. That realization hurt more than the cheating. The betrayal wasn't just physical. It was emotional abandonment. She didn't leave me when she stopped loving me. She stayed and let me keep loving her alone. I packed a small bag. She cried, said she was confused, said she loved me, said it was a mistake. But mistakes don't last for weeks. Mistakes don't involve planning. Mistakes don't include mocking the person who trusts you. I stood at the door, and for a moment, I almost stayed. Because love doesn't disappear just because respect does. But I chose myself. For the first time in months, I chose myself. As I walked out, she said one last thing. It didn't mean anything. I paused, turned around, and said quietly, it meant everything. Because now I would question every memory, every smile, every "I love you." Weeks passed after that night. Silence replaced her voice. My phone stopped lighting up at midnight. The house felt colder, but at least it felt honest. The hardest part wasn't losing her. It was losing the version of us I believed in. I replayed everything in my head. Every moment I ignored my gut. Every time I chose to trust instead of confront. I learned something painful. When someone says, "just a friend," sometimes it's true. But sometimes it's the beginning of the end. I don't hate her. I don't even wish her pain. But I wish she had left before she betrayed me. I wish she had respected me enough to walk away instead of overlapping love with lies. Now, when I hear someone say, "You're overthinking," I pay attention. Because intuition isn't insecurity. It's your heart noticing what your mind is afraid to accept. She was just a lesson, a painful one, but necessary. And maybe, one day, when someone tells me he's just a friend, I won't feel my chest tighten. Maybe one day, trust won't feel like a risk. But until then, I'll remember how it felt to read that message. I miss last night already, and how in that moment, I realized I was the only one still fighting for us.